Hi guys, welcome to the Fiberista Files, a woman's chronicle of broadening her fibery footprint. I'm Heather. I'm your host and the resident fiberista. I have a online fiber shop, www.highlandhandmades.etsy.com, that I run here out of my home. And this is my video podcast. I'm hoping that the podcast will do two things for me. One, I wanted to serve as an archive for all of the efforts that I take to grow my business and hopefully do this full time someday. And also, I hope that it becomes a resource for somebody who may be wanting to take the same sort of avenue and do the same thing for him or herself. So let's get started. The first thing I like to do each episode is show you what's been in the dye pots. I take the best photos that I can and I use a light box and make them as professional as possible, but I think that actually maybe seeing them real time will help out. So I had a really hard time picking what I wanted to show you today, but I decided on this. This is Feed America. I don't know if you can see. I'm really bad with mirror imaging. Feed America is a 4-ounce bundle of superwash merino. It is dyed in shades of a deep sort of tealy green and some really nice rich pumpkin orange. This was dyed in such a way so as to create both lighter and darker color values, so that there's the darker, more solid green and then some lighter areas that aren't quite as saturated as the same thing as the orange here. There's almost sort of fades to peach here at a couple of places. All the fibers that I show you will be for sale in the Etsy shop, and I will provide a direct link to those listings in the show notes. I do have more of the Feed America. If you're interested, just convo me on Etsy and we can work something out. Next, I'd like to talk to you about some of my processes, how I do what I do, how I get my inspiration, things like that. Tonight, probably for the first episode, I'm just going to explain a little bit about the methods of dyeing that I use. I use names that probably other dye groups, dyers, wouldn't use, or they would disagree with my explanation of them, but it's what I do, and at least this way we'll have a common vocabulary. So that's next. First type of dyeing that I do is called kettle dyeing. It's really easy. You make a dye mixture, you put it in an oven safe or stovetop safe pot, and you throw the fiber in and you wait a while under low heat, and then when you're done you pull out your fiber and you have this beautiful skein of yarn or bundle of fiber. This is an example of that. This is called Sailor's Delight. It is a 4-ounce bundle. Nope, that's wrong. It is 100 grams of sock yarn. It's 440 yards. It is merino and silk. I love the shine on this, but it's going to make it difficult to show you what the colors look like. In this I used like a deep sort of brick red in the dye mixture, and when I put it in there, it made both the darker sort of brick maroony reds as well as some lighter areas here that fade. They're lighter, but they're almost like a coral, but all shades of that same dye. This was all thrown in the same dye pot at the same time and just sort of let to heat up and absorb that dye. I love how easy it is. I love how easy it is to get beautiful colors out of something so simple. It's one dye color. You can do more than one. It gets a little tricky when you use more than one because if the dye colors combine, they tend to get a little bit muddy, but I have seen it used to great effect. That's just not me. The other type of dyeing that I do is one of the ones that sort of is controversial. Not controversial like drama controversial, but different dyers have different explanations for what space dyeing is. And space dyeing to me is when I lay fiber out in a pan. The door is being knocked on by the cat who wants in because she can hear me. I apologize. I take the fibers, and usually they're sort of in an S. They are folded over several times in 4s and 8s, however I need to get to the size pot that I want. And I pour the dye on one end or the other, and it tends to, several pieces of the roving, so it's almost repeatable, have that same color, and it has the same sort of kettle effect that there are lighter and darker color values, and they kind of go all around. It's really neat, but very, very easy. And then you just slide the pot into the oven or solar cooker if you have one, and you wait, and when it's done you are left with something like this. This is a 4-ounce bundle of punta, which is a wool blend from South Africa. Feels and looks very much like a merino BFL blend, but there may be some mohair in there. It doesn't say. and I would hate for somebody with an allergy to get a hold of this and then realize, oops, there's mohair in it. So this is Mount Katahdin. You can see that there's a section of green here, and then it goes to white, and then after the white, the undyed section is this lovely gray, which was the end of the fiber. You can kind of tell here, there's kind of caught up now, but there's all this lovely gray, and then it kind of repeats back and forth, and it's just green and gray and white. And when it's braided, this looks really pretty. That's space dyeing. All the area in a certain space gets dye on it. And the last method is the most fun method that I have, and I'm going to reach down one more time. It's called spot dyeing, and it literally is applying spots of dye, or in my case, a tube of dye, to the fiber in very small amounts. This is just a ketchup bottle. It's a little bit higher end ketchup bottle than those old red and yellow ketchup and mustard bottles that you find at like 50s diners. I did use those when I first started. That cat is going crazy. But I've upgraded a little bit. These are really cheap. You can get them at any restaurant supply store. I think these were like $1.20 with tax. And you put about this is a 12-ounce bottle. I usually put about 8 ounces of dye, like a black or a darker color in there. Screw the cap on. And there's no lid on this, so you kind of have to know what you want to do when you do it. You just dump it on, you know, the fiber, and you squirt and have lots of fun and make a huge mess. And when you're done, you're left with very small areas of color. You can squirt a lot more on and make a bigger section, or you can just sort of, you know, wave it around and make little speckles and things like that. I often will take the spot dyed fiber and over dye it a different color so that it gets a lot of tones and varied colors in the yarn. This is Let Us Eat. It is 462 yards of sock yarn, superwash merino and nylon, and it's been spot dyed in shades of gray and this sort of tealy green. It looks more blue on the screen than it really is. And then was over dyed a light green. So there's not a lot of white in this woven, but you can see that they're really short colors, and it's awesome for socks because it really minimizes pooling, because you've got such a random application of color that even though it's over dyed a single color, unlike with the space dyeing, which you have almost repeatable colors in order, this is almost random, even though they're the same colors over and over again. So that's really cool. It's one of my favorites, and not just because it makes a mess. The only thing I have left tonight is to show my Grabby Hands. It's my favorite section. Grabby Hands, which the name was given to me by Danielle of Danny Do Crafty. Great big puppy heart her, and I'm sure she will be on here soon. Grabby Hands is all that stuff on the internet, on Etsy, anything that you look at and go, oh my god, mine. All those things that you want. First up is a perennial favorite of mine. I love her dearly. Her stuff is amazing. She is a bit of a mentor to me and an icon. CJ Kopech of CJ Kopech Creations. I don't know how well you can read that card. Her website is cjkopechcreations.etsy.com, and she has amazing color sense, amazing fiber sense. Her colors are phenomenal. This is a merino bamboo silk blend of fiber, and it's dyed in the colorway Galaxy that has some really beautiful rose and peach and a nice olive and this beautiful, beautiful blue. With a lot of white areas done in, and it's just absolutely gorgeous and so soft and smushy. As soon as I saw it, I had to have it. Kobe does an awesome sale every Black Friday after Thanksgiving, and I scored big on that one. So that's Grabby Hands. That's pretty much all I've got tonight. I hope to have this up later this evening. Today is April 16th. Oh my gosh, I've already lost track of time. I hope to have episode 2 up next week. I hope you'll join me then. Until then, thanks guys for tuning in. You have a great night, and happy spinning, knitting, whatever your fiber heart desires. Have a great night, guys.